The Olive Convention Centre in Durban is home to some of the world's very best. Speaking of olives, a bunch of world-class players on table right now. We're about to begin the second session of this fantastic penultimate day of action with some women's doubles action. I'm your commentator, Fraser Riley, and it is a pleasure as always to be in the commentary box watching along with you all. So who have we got on screen right now? Well, an interesting pairing here. A mixed team pairing of Barbora Varady of Slovakia and Camille Lutz of France. Youth and experience pairing up against youth and experience, but both players representing the same team. Make no mistake, Team China. Zhang Rui, who progressed earlier on in the day in singles, and KUAI, who is actually Liu Guoliang's favourite young prospect in the women's game coming up and through. Now, if that isn't a compliment, I don't know what is. But this should be an interesting match. We know Slovakia have produced some tricky customers. Lubomir Pizche in the men's. And France have a lot of flair. So let's see what happens here. There's a strawberry push, not a flick there from kuaiman, but followed up well. A good start from the European pair.
One, two.
Brilliant play. Mid-distance, nice crisp attacks. France's youth team is just phenomenal. With the Lebrun brothers, Pavard, Camille Lutz, you know, they're sorted really when you think about it.
4-1.
Slovakia have slightly less strength in depth. Barbora Varady is Slovakia's #1 women's player. But they have others too, such as Tatiana Kukulkova and Emma Labasova. And we don't need really to talk about China's strength in depth, because we know how many bricks there are that cement the Great Wall of Chinese national table tennis. A bitty start. Both pairings just sort of feeling each other out, it seems, just getting used to their opponent's styles. A strawberry return from the net cord there. Zhang Rui has short pips on the backhand, so she can come up and through a little bit easier than smoother rubber players against backspin.
5-4.
Spirited efforts here from the Europeans. This is fantastic. You've got a better chance of beating the Chinese in doubles than you have in singles, because they obviously experiment with the doubles. Pick and mix to see what works. That's a nice redirection there from Zhang Rui down the line. Absolutely nobody home for that one. He got in the way of each other there, Varady and Lutz. It's considered advantageous to have a partnership of right-handed player and a left-handed player. Both of these pairings have that advantage. But it kind of diffuses when you're up against each other like that. $1,000 up for grabs for the winner of doubles, as well as 400 ranking points. Beautiful, clean brush up there from Kuaiman. Such a young player, still a junior.
8-7.
And they've swung it round. What a comeback this is. Got to take your chances against the Chinese if you're up, because you don't get many chances at all. They've levelled it at 9-all, a positive receive there. A push can be positive. It doesn't have to be a flick. Push can be equally as effective if it's timed at the right moment. Oh, what an angle from Balance over there with the backhand. That was class. Love rallies like that. Did well with the initial forehand, kept it deep. Zhang Rui countered. Look at these rallies. But that angle there was lethal. But at the tip of a hat, the Chinese letting their presence be felt. Big moment here in game one. You see the Chinese relax usually after the first game, which makes it seem even more important that the European pair take this initial game. She changes to backspin there. No float in the tense moment. Tries to tie them up and she succeeds, Zhang Rui. And the second time of asking, just look at that. Two combinations straight out of the table tennis textbook. I think it may have slightly caught the top edge there of Kuaiman's racket. They apologised for something anyway. The contact didn't look so clean. But regardless, it is the European pair that couldn't really finish things off after they got off to a very, very good start. But definitely positives to take from it.
Second game, Zhang to serve, level. Love one.
Well, they definitely had a chance to take the first game. They were up by, what, 4 points, was it? Balatsova and Lutz. Which against the top seeds is definitely encouraging, despite the disappointment that they couldn't finish it off. Let's talk about how they got here, actually. So Zhang Rui and Kuaiman overcame Simin Mukre and Jessie Nomodo of South Africa before beating Rachel Murray and Tatiana Kugelkova in 3 straight. Nice finish from Balatsova there, whom alongside Camille Lutz defeated the Luxembourg pair, Sarah Denut and Tessie Nonorinda, and then they beat Dina Meshreff and Sibel Atikaya. Chinese top seeds haven't even dropped a game en route to this semi-final. And we know how cutthroat these WTT contenders can be, and any event, you know, you're starting straight knockouts. No group stage. Oh, beautiful there. Was that an applause from Balatsova? Blooming deserved one, I tell you. Let's have a look. When you've got hand skills like that allow you to just absorb spin, really difficult to play against, especially in doubles. Oh, that's stunning. Both pairings are playing the tactic of trying to play it into the person who has just hit the shot. That's a clever, clever tactic. Because obviously we alternate in doubles. You play a shot, then you let your partner play a shot. Can't play more than one in a row. That's a lovely Chiquita flick there from Balatsova. A slow, spinny, wristy flick. You can see she comes around the side of the ball and it bends actually into the body of Kuaiman, who cannot read the trajectory of the ball. Closing the gap now. But the gap remains. Hook serving coming. Well, at least the form motion was. Didn't end up like that, but that there from Camille Lutz is brilliant. Could see Kuaiman revving up for it, so she kept the bat high. Timing point early. It was a lovely shot indeed. That's a nice block as well. Holding their own here. There's really nothing. Well, there is. There's 3-point difference right now overall in this match. The Chinese on the better side of that stat. But they're just so good together, the Chinese team, Chinese pairing here. Coaches obviously like them playing together. They won the WTT Contender Tunis last season, beating Shi Shunyao and He Zhuazhua in the final.
7-8.
Stretching Kuaiman there nicely with the backhand block.
9-7.
And I can't see who's in the corner for Kuaiman and Zhang Rui, but he is definitely sounding very happy with that. I can hear some pialiangs going. Beautiful. Wow.
9-8.
It's cat and mouse, isn't it? 1 point to one, 1 point to the other. They're going around the houses with these games. Credit to the European pair for not letting their heads drop after blowing the first game.
8-10.
It's just when it gets tight. It's a mental thing with the Chinese. They're just so calm. When do you ever really see panic on the face of a Chinese player? You really don't, to be honest. It's 2 game points. The top seeds. First time of asking Bob's your uncle. 11-8 to Zhang Rui and Kuaiman. Going from strength to strength slightly, just by 1 point closer than the first game. And now you really, really fear for the Europeans. It would take a comeback of dreams, really, against the 2 Chinese players on screen if they're to form it and advance to the finals. But let's check out who is on the other side of the women's doubles draw. We've got another Chinese pair, the bottom half, who have just advanced over Natalia Bayor and Sabine Winter. We're seeing a lot of mixed team pairings here in the women's doubles. Chen Qianyi and Shi Shunyao won that 3-1, juicing the 4th game, and they're waiting in the final for the winner of this match. We will have one doubles final today, actually, and that'll be the mixed doubles. The final match of the day in the evening session.
3rd game. Lutz to serve.
But there'll be 4 finals tomorrow.
Level.
Men and women's doubles, men and women's singles.
1 love. Last 2.
Good intention there from the world number 136. The young French junior, Camille Lutz, whose best win is probably Bruna Takahashi, who she beat in 2020. It's a nice half-long push there. Wouldn't mind seeing it on the replay, but we might not get to, just to see the length on that. So it all happens so quick. Whoa! Well, that's an unusual counter there from Balatsova. She's got a very European technique. Definite differences in the silhouette of these players.
1-5.
Chinese players almost come off a conveyor belt. You know what I mean? The fundamentals are basically exactly the same, no matter what the style. Europeans, I think, get a little bit more freedom, shall we say, to experiment and implement their own personality into their game. Cultural thing and a traditional thing. Nothing works better than the Chinese way in table tennis. But unless you come from there, it's very difficult to try and replicate that. Knowing what your opponent wants is absolutely essential. And you could see there how she played it into the area. She knew Camille Lutz would try to step around, but did it in a way that was too hard for her to do anything about.
4-6.
Look at that change. Looked like she was going to go for the push, but read that it was coming long enough and changed what she was going to do. She adapted kuaiman. It's tough, isn't it, against a pair who have inverted rubber on one backhand and short pips on the other. Just doesn't come through the same way. And a timeout called by the mixed team pairing, Balatsova and Lutz. Looking for their first WTT title together. We know that Zhang Rui and kuaiman won one at the WTT Contender Durban last season in the final, which we mentioned earlier.
Five, 6.
It's good play. I don't know. Am I silly to sense that I just feel like the Chinese still might win this game? The match, obviously, they're definite favourites, but they've just shown the Chinese that they're never really out of it.
7-6.
Look at kuaiman. She's like a Rolls Royce, just so smooth on the ball. Everything just looks effortless when she plays it. 34 in the world. And she's already beaten players like Miyuka Hara, Feng Chanwei, Chen Xintong, and Shun Yao. And look at this, they've turned it around indeed. But no real helplessness noticed in the face of the Europeans here, which is good to see. But it's when it's got tight that the Chinese have just found that extra gear, as they so often do, and on the receive here, they'll be looking to impose themselves.
9-8.
Slight fortune, but you could hear in the contact how quiet it was of Balatsova's backhand. Loads of topspin. Oh, and it's a bit of a gift there.
8,
It's sent long, but Zhang Rui's footwork, uncharacteristically actually, cannot cover. And the pair who might have felt a little bit badly done by, that they hadn't won a game yet, have a chance to do so in the fourth, when they really, really need to. Their backs are against the walls. They'd have to win this game and then another 2 if they progress to the final. Well, one step in the right direction for the European pair here. Balatsova and Lutz have their name on this semi-final, at least for now. Let's see if they can continue forwards. Will we see any nerves in the Chinese? Don't usually see it, but it does happen from time to time.
Thank you, sir. Fourth game. Zhang to serve. Level.
Stunning counter from Balatsova. She looked like she was in no man's land. Or no woman's land, should I say, back there. She's made that angle a couple of times on the backhand, but that one was more impressive for me because she was a little bit further away from the table. Look how wide the stance is. The head very close to the net to get optimum control. You want your head to be as close to the racket as possible to get that control and the consistency. Miraculously comes down, but they manage just to scrape their way through that third point there. A bit of fortune there on the Balatsova lob. And Zhang Rui had all the time in the world to play that. Still couldn't find it. Yeah, that was asking a bit too much there. Balatsova wasn't in the right position to go for that shot. Got to plant your feet first. Yeah, good pressure there into the Balatsova backhand. You can see it a bit more with European women and Chinese women, but European women tend to stand a little bit further upright when they play. But I guess on average they're a little bit taller than Chinese women, so they already have that sort of higher centre of gravity naturally. Well, it was a strange decision there, shot selection-wise from Balatsova. I think she'd made her mind up too early before she knew what was coming. You can't afford to do that. It's a good serve though from Lutz.
5-3.
Lutz of spin. Sorry, that was awful. Mm.
6-3.
They're just getting further and further in front. Balatsova struggling to read the backhand pips of Zhang Rui. That's a nice fade.
3-7.
So good. So good. We saw Lin Shidong earlier just falling short to Ugo Calderano, and KUAI is his mixed doubles partner. They're kind of like the
4-7.
even newer generation of Wang Chuqin and Sun Yingsha. Although, obviously, KUAI left-handed, Sun Yingsha right-handed. They're going from strength to strength. Another spanner in the works. Balatsova's backhand's been good in the rally, but not really early on in the rally. And they're 8-4 down. The Chinese really strong favourites now to go through to the final.
9-4.
And meet their teammates. Attempt of feeling there from Balatsova. She goes for a Jusei Hyuk chop. Doesn't land, and 6 match points.
5-10.
Not far off a double happiness net edge there. Doesn't land. 1 saved, 5 more necessary.
Ten, 6.
Is it too little too late though? Probably so. Third match point saved. Are we going to see a Chinese timeout? Usually it's the coach that calls it, not the players. Yes, we will. No more, says whoever is in the corner for KUAI and Zhang Rui. I can't see him or her. The majority of Chinese coaches are male. Even in the women's setup. And I think that's why actually the Chinese women are just kind of soaring ahead of every other team on the planet in the women's game. What women's team really can you name that has so many male legends coaching them? And I think that's again another reason why the differences between the men and women's game is becoming less and less noticeable. Because now everyone wants to play close to the table. The likes of Xu Xin and Timo Boll, you know, your mid-distance loopers, it's becoming less common now in the game. Everyone's coming in closer. You can hit through the ball a little bit easier because it's made of plastic.
10-7.
Everyone's coming close and everyone's trying to take the ball early. There we have it. The timeout pays dividends. And the Chinese pair there guarantee a Chinese winner in the women's doubles. KUAI and Zhang Rui will face Qian Xianyi and Shi Shunyao in tomorrow's women's doubles final. Some spirited table tennis there from the mixed European team. Balatsova and Lutz. Plenty of positives to take from that.